Hello book lovers, I'm Kiki and welcome back to my little corner on the internet. It's lovely to have you here. So for today's video, what I am going to be doing is a pages challenge over the next 6 days. And basically, as much as I would love to be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try to read 200 pages every single day, I know that that doesn't work for me because I just never know what happens and I cannot currently commit to reading 200 pages a day. I might end up doing it, I never know, but what the plan is that I will spin this little pages wheel that will decide how many pages I will have to read that day. And I have put the numbers 50 through 250 in like 10-point increments in it, so 50, 60, 70, etc. And then I will spin it and have to read whatever number it gives me that day. Just to show you, this is what it'll look like. Right now it shows 190. Anyway, I want to try to read these pages in books that are on my physical TBR so I can get back to getting that down, because I've been doing a lot of rereading, a lot of ebooks, a lot of audiobooks recently, and I really want to get my physical TBR down because I haven't really done that much of that so far this year, especially because I have gotten some books so far and I just need to get that number down to feel better. I will also not stress myself out too much, because if I cannot finish the page count that I need that day specifically, I can either, because this will happen, I will either read more than I necessarily need to some days, and I might not be able to finish the pages on other days. So I will just like allow them to like carry over, or I'm allowed to like catch up on the pages the next day or something like that, because as much as I want to challenge myself with this, I also don't want to burn myself out, because just gotten out of a reading slump and I cannot go back into it, so yay. But apart from that, there aren't really any rules to me doing that, so sit back, enjoy, and let's see if I can actually do this. So I am currently still reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown, which I have just not picked up in a hot second. So for today's book, I am definitely going to pick this up. And I am currently on page 68, which is the start of chapter 5. So let me get my wheel and spin it to see how many pages I am going to have to read today, and that is, what does it say? 70. Oh, that's not bad, like at all. Let me check, because like 70 pages would basically be page 140. So I'm going to see where, oh my god, there is literally, the new chapter starts on page 138. Which, like, am I mistaken? Or isn't that yeah, 68. Okay, I didn't expect it to work out this nicely. But if I forgot which chapter. But if I read up to chapter 9, I will have read exactly 70 pages. Oh, that is so freaking satisfying. I can't even. Okay, I'm gonna sit down and read a little right now, see how far I will get. I'm done with the 70 pages, which actually ended up going by a lot quicker than I thought, which is great. I can't actually tell you how long I've been sitting here because I just didn't get up. I really should have, but I got really sucked in, and yeah. Okay, so far, I'm liking it. I'm a bit annoyed about certain aspects of it because I'm always like, if there's something you feel like you should tell a person, tell that person, and don't let the other person distract you from it. I don't know. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's just like, well, I guess it's basically miscommunication. And it is my least favorite trope in romance books, but it is in every single romance book. And I hate it. It is so annoying. Because, like, 90% of the time, it is always the same type of miscommunication, and it freaking sucks. So, other than that, I am enjoying it though. I am very much enjoying the chronic illness aspect of it. I think that is so important to just like talk about in books and get to a point where it isn't seen as like this taboo topic. I really like that aspect of it, and I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this book. So that's gonna be fun. I would say I'm, what, a third through now, which is absolutely incredible. And I do really want to continue reading, but I feel weird because I'm supposed to read 70 pages, which I've done. Now I'm like, should I spin it again to see if I could read more? But then, what if I get 250 pages? Because that would just kill me. I have right now made it to page 224, which is chapter 15, which is definitely quite a bit further into the book than where I stopped. I'd say I'm almost 2/3 through the book now, and I am enjoying myself. It is very cute. I am enjoying it. It's, again, the miscommunication. I get it. Like, that is something here that I get though, just because of the past that these characters have and how they have been hurt. The fact that they don't necessarily want to do certain things or like open up about certain things, it makes 100% sense. So I get the miscommunication in this one. So otherwise, I am enjoying myself a lot. I am going to get ready for bed though, and then potentially continue just a little bit more until I fall asleep. I am hoping we're gonna get a little bit more of the sisters, given that there's 3 books and each one is about a different sister. I want more of their dynamic in the book, you know? But I'm guessing we're gonna get just a little bit more of it because I just think it's cute. I love like sibling dynamics. Like, I have a little sister and I love her to bits. It's just, she's my little sister, right? So it's just, I always like seeing sibling and especially like sister dynamics within books. There are some that are very, I want to say toxic, and then there are the ones that are like absolutely adorable and where they just want the best for you, and it's just so wholesome, and I need more of that, honestly. Right now I feel like that is probably my one proper like thing that I would critique. Just more of the sisters, honestly. I know it's supposed to be a romance, but I want more of that. Also, Gigi. I need more of that woman. It's incredible. Good morning. So, last night I in fact did not continue reading anything, so I ended up reading the 156 pages that I read, and that means that I still have a little to go in Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I think that's what it's called. I'm so bad. Oh my god. But yeah, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And I am at 60%. So still got a little to go, which is exciting. But I am going to spin the wheel and see how many pages I will have to read today. I'm excited to see this, honestly, because this is so much fun. It's like a different, just a nice little way to figure out how many pages to read. I jinxed it yesterday. It's not 250, but it is 200 pages. How am I supposed to do that? It's a Tuesday. You know what? It's okay. I will figure it out. I will somehow read 200 pages. And then let you know how it went. I will have to start another book. Well, maybe I'll be getting my TBR down. Good morning. So last night I couldn't really say anything because I would have woken up everybody. And I ended up reading the last few pages that I needed to read in bed and actually crashed out after it. I was like, gone. But I did end up finishing Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I did enjoy this immensely. But I am currently settling on a sort of 3.5-star rating because usually for romance books, I get this like giddiness and just like this hee hee. And this didn't necessarily do that. And so far, I've been basically rating my books based on that giddiness, right? At least my romance books. And now I'm so confused and I don't know what to do with it. So I think I'm going to settle on a 3.5 for now because I really, really like the disability representation in this and the different characters and the relationship, the way that, yes, there was miscommunication, but I feel like it was resolved a little quicker and pretty much both of them realized right away that, oh my god, we were so stupid just now, what the heck? But because of their individual like trauma, especially based around romance, they couldn't talk it out in that moment. And I was okay with that. And I really liked the epilogue because it wasn't like, oh, this and this many years later and they're getting married. No, it was not. And yeah, I actually cannot wait to continue with, I think the next one is Danny's story, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I did really enjoy this, but there was something about it, you know? And then I started Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. I don't have the cover. But this is already a great start to the second book. I reread the first one. I don't remember when, but it wasn't too long ago. And I still needed a second to realize, like, one of the characters who we were talking about, because I'm kind of really bad with names and numbers. Just my memory is shit, you know? So, yeah, but I am intrigued. Like, what? It's like, what is happening? Who is doing it? And I have a really bad feeling about one of the last things that I, like, learned about, because I ended up reading to page 66 so I could get the full 200 pages. And that is just where chapter 6 ends. And whoop, prompt page is gone. So yeah, I am intrigued to see what is happening. It is called The Great Game, so I have ideas about it. But let me check how many pages I actually ended up reading last night. Because I don't know. I read a little over 200 pages. So I read 212 pages. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. But let's see what it is. Yesterday's is still on here. How many pages I will have to read today. Because doing all of that just last night was a bit of a challenge. Ooh, ooh. 80 pages really isn't that bad. Like, where would that get me to? I would have to read a little more to not stop in a chapter, but it would get me to this, like chapter 13. I'm excited. Let's get started on today's 80 pages. It was 80, right? I've already forgotten. Why do I have so many apps open? Yes, 80 pages. So last night I did in fact manage to read the pages that I needed to. I actually read about 20-ish pages more. So now I am on page 175, which is where chapter 15 starts. And things are starting to happen. And I am really excited. And I really, really hope that I will actually get a high number of pages today so that I feel more inclined to actually finish the book today. I don't know why, but like, I just like the more pages I get, the more I'm like actually like not stressed to read, but like it just gives me that little extra pressure. I have a problem. I am aware. But I am going to check how many pages I will actually have to read today because I am about to get my hair done. I'm so excited. I haven't been to like the hairdresser in a solid year, I think. And my hair is getting to a point where I'm so annoyed with it because it's just getting longer and longer and I just put it up all the time. And that's generally when I know that I need to get it cut off again. So that is on the schedule today. But let's check how many pages I need to read today. I am so freaking excited to see. Oh my god, what is it? What is it? 210 pages. See, at least today I jinxed it because I wanted to jinx it. So that would end up getting me to page 385, which is not, a chapter ends on 387, but then I literally only have this much left of the book, just like maybe 30 pages or something. So I might actually finish Amari and the Great Game today, which would be amazing. But I also did start listening to an audiobook yesterday because I have so many like reading challenges that I joined on the Storygraph, and I realized that I should probably start reading books for those challenges because I did them, like I entered these challenges to sort of diversify my reading a little bit because they have little prompts that generally don't really fit the books that are on my physical TBR because I just don't usually read in that genre or like that specific type of book, etc. And so I just wanted to let you know real quick, I Love You So Mochi, which just is really cute. And it's like, I don't know if you can see that, but I've only listened to like 45 minutes of it or something. And yeah, so far it's really cute, and I am very interested to see where that is going. So I'm going to be listening to that over the next couple of days as well, but given that those aren't pages, because I'm quite literally only listening to it, these are going to be the ones that I'm using for this video. But I wanted to let you know because it's starting super cute. So I came back from the hairdresser and I started getting like migraine symptoms. So I've been taking it slow, but while I was at the hairdresser, I did start and I just finished reading Elle's The New Girl, which is a graphic novel. And so I literally just finished it and I'm so confused because our main girl Elle has multiple personalities. And first I thought it would be something like I think it's called dissociative identity disorder, but it seems to be a bit more alien and fantasy inspired rather than just the DID. And I'm so confused, but I've already put volumes 2 and 3 on hold on Libby, but I'm not gonna get them for a while, and now I just want to know what's going to happen next, because it seems interesting. I like the art style. It's a lot of fun and it does a great job at showcasing which personality is currently leading our main character, and I think that was great. It was confusing at first because I was like, why does she suddenly have different hair? And then I got it. Anyway, overall, I think it was really cute. It was great showcasing like friendship and stuff and like how it can be difficult, but also just, yeah, her best friend is so cute. I really like the way she stuck with her. And yeah, that was just a cute, fun little like comic to read in between. It's 114 pages, and depending on how much I am able to read today in Amari, given my headache, I might count this towards the 210 pages that I need to read. So, I have been trying to pick up Amari and the Great Game for the past couple of hours, and it hasn't worked. I think my brain is just not capable of concentrating on it right now, which is fine. And I also really want to finish it in one go sort of thing. I have like a little over 2 hours left, I believe. Almost 2.5 hours, maybe. So it's like a thing where I would definitely have to sit down and read, and I just haven't had the time or the energy to properly do that. Like, my headache is mostly gone. Like, it's no longer the stabby feeling, which is fan-fucking-tastic, but there's still an underlying pressure. But I'm happy with that. I can live with that. Now, because I do still want to read. Like, I'm in the mood to read. I have decided to pick up another book. So, I am going to start One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This was technically on my March TBR, I believe. I never ended up reading it. If I wanted to read the 210 pages in a physical book, I would have to actually read 228 pages, and then I might as well finish it. Which I'm not, because I'm going to sleep at a reasonable hour tonight. But anyway, I am definitely going to read like 100 pages in this and just see what happens, which would be 110 pages. That's where I think the chapter ends. Yeah.
So that would get me to actually finishing the pages challenge for today, given that I have read 114 pages in the comic. I am going to like try to push myself to read a bit more, but for now, that's where I'm going to be at, I think.
Last night, I did make it a little bit into one last stop. I made it to page 146, and I really, really would have loved to continue reading, but I was falling asleep while reading it, and it was especially annoying because it was basically, I was falling asleep during like basically a first kiss. And that's just basically a sign like I need to sleep, right? So I did go to bed. Well, I did go to sleep. I was already in bed. So I read about 250-ish, 60 pages, which means I did make the 210 pages. It was just not all physical. But I did read a whole comic, so I'm counting it. I don't care. But let's take a look at how many pages I need to read today, because I'm hoping it's again more towards the like higher numbers, which doesn't make sense, but I really, really, really want to try to get Amari done. And if I only have to read like 50 pages, it feels so weird to read like 250 to finish a book, you know? It's not 250, I just don't remember how many pages I have left. But you know what? Let's spin this thing. It's always so loud. Why is it so loud? Let's spin. Oh. 190. I'm okay with that. Let's actually see. So I am on page 174. And the book has 423 pages. You know what? If I would have gotten the 250, it would have been absolutely perfect. It would have been annoying because I would have had to read like one page in another book at least. But 190 is still good because then I will only really go over it by like 50, 60 pages, which is fine. This is the goal, guys. This is the goal. Finishing Amari and the Great Game. Because I need to. Okay, so I just made it to the page where I could potentially stop reading for tonight because I've read the 190 pages that I needed to read. However, there's not that much left. It's probably like half an hour of reading, and while it is quite late already, I do really want to finish this because we're getting now really into the like last bits of the mystery that needs solving in this one, and it's so good. And we also still have like trials left and stuff, so I'm gonna continue. So I did in fact finish Amari yesterday, and I did not expect that. I should have expected it, and I was stupid not to expect it actually. Like thinking about it now, it's like, oh no, of course. There's another book coming. Well, there's another book now already out, and there's 2 more coming. What did I expect? How did I expect it to end, right? But it was good. I settled on a 4.25 star rating, which is pretty much the same that I rated the first book. And I love these so much. I can't even tell you necessarily why. It's just the characters can be so adorable. And this is this a middle grade or a YA? Not actually 100% sure, but either way, it's for a younger audience, and it does it so well though, because there are some like scarier things in it, if you think about it. And it is still done so well, and the way the characters and the relationships like progress, it's done so well, I feel. And it's just, I love Elsie. Laura, to me, is such an interesting character, and the development she goes through. And yeah, I really, really, really want to know what happens in the next one now. I cannot wait to see what happens next. And that is generally a really good sign, because there have been like trilogies and series where I was like, honestly, I'm reading it because I have it, but not necessarily because I'm the most intrigued as to what will happen next. So, you know, that is actually really well done. Like, there have been like trilogies where after the second book out was like not great, and I was like, do I really, really want to know what happens in the third book? And then I'm like, I read the third book, and the third book is amazing again, but it's just getting through that second book can be such a chore. It was not here. We appreciate that. But because it is the next day, I gotta figure out how many pages I gotta read today. So let's... 150. Oh, that is such a nice number. Let's see how many pages I actually have left in One Last Stop, which I think is going to be more than 150, but I really want to finish it today. So, how many pages does this book even have? 417, and I have read 145. That is definitely more than 150. That is even more than 250 if I had gotten that. But I've got 272 pages left. Definitely gonna read the 150 in this one. And then, honestly, I'm just gonna see what happens. As much as I want to finish it today, I am not going to stress myself out too much over it. If I finish it tomorrow, I finish it tomorrow. But the 150 pages, definitely here. So I'm basically gonna have to read to page 300. Let me see where the chapter ends. That's just not making it. So I'm gonna have to read to page 312, and then it feels like I barely have anything left. Oh no, that's actually still a lot. It is over. I did finish One Last Stop last night, and I think this has been the most disappointing book so far for me this year, because I have had such high expectations for this book, because I absolutely loved Red, White, and Royal Blue. I don't remember if I gave it a 5-star or like a 4.75, like a really high 4-star, but I loved it. I still constantly talk about this book. It's like, oh look, it's Red, White, and Royal Blue, or look at the special edition, or like, let's watch the movie, like that sort of stuff. Like, I just constantly still think about it. I'm not going to think about this book much, like at all. I gave it 3.25 stars. About 60% through, I was quite frankly deciding whether I should DNF it or not. I ended up not DNFing it because I did sort of want to know how they've resolved some of the stuff. But it was such a disappointment. I ended up enjoying the background characters' stories more than that of our two main characters, like our main couple. And like the friendships were just, I don't know, it just like that was more interesting to me than the actual main plot. And also just the PDA, I mean, I sort of get why it had to be done, but I wasn't a fan of it. Especially one scene. I'm just not sure how I like that. So, yeah. I don't know. That was such a disappointment. And I'm so sad about it because, like I said, I love Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I had such high expectations. And then those were shattered, unfortunately. But apart from that, I did finish I Love You So Mochi as well, which was an audiobook that I listened to, and I gave that 3.75 stars. Very cute. I'm a huge fan of reading books that are set in like Japan because I desperately want to go there. And that was so nice, and hearing about all the food and the different clothes, and it was wonderful. Then I finished Omari and the Great Game, which is the second book in the Omari series by B.B. Alston, and I gave that 4.25 stars, just as I did with the first book. And this is such a wonderful book. Is it a middle grade? It is a middle grade. Like, I think it's so wonderful. I cannot wait to continue with this series. The third book is out, and we are waiting on books 4 and 5, because it is no longer just a trilogy. There are going to be 5 books in this series, and I love that. And I cannot wait to see what happens with Amari and her friends and just the magical community. It's just so exciting. I also read a comic, Else, the New Girl, and I gave that 3.75 stars. It was interesting. I am intrigued, but we'll see how the story continues. I think there's only 3 volumes, 3 issues, however you want to call it, so far. Maybe it's just 3, I don't know, but yeah, our main character has multiple personalities, and I think it's a sci-fi fantasy sort of thing rather than a like dissociative personality disorder. I'm always terrified of saying that wrong thing, but I'm intrigued. And the art is super cute. I love that. And then I also finished Get Alive, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, and this was interesting. I gave this 3.5 stars. I don't really know if I had expectations for this book because I really wanted to read this back when everybody was talking about it, and then this is the story of my life. I just never picked it up, and I don't know if I had all of these like thoughts of other people in my mind as I was reading this, but overall it was cute. I really liked the chronic illness representation and aspect of it, and yeah. So that was cute. I am definitely going to continue with the other 2 books as well. And then something that I didn't really mention, but I did finish an audiobook the day that I started this video, and that was A Radical Guide for Women with ADHD, and that was I just finished that. It's a nonfiction, so I don't rate it, but I did finish it, which means that, let me get my statistics out. I read a total of 1,257 pages over the 6 days that I did this, which isn't bad. I'm not mad at that. I finished 5.5 books. I got 3 books off of my physical TBR, which I'm so proud of, which means that my current TBR count is at 241. So I'm finally getting lower than like 250, and I'm gonna try to keep it that way. Depending on how my mood is this month, I might try to not buy any books in April, but we'll see how that works. Ooh, that could be a challenge, but we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing. I would love to have you here, and I hope you see you in the next one. Bye!